Hey there, team. As you can see, I'm already on a page here, and it's just a real simple page. It has a label on it that just says label and a button that says go. So you'll want to go ahead and build that just like what I've done. This is a WPF app, just like what we've been using in Calculator and some of those things. And so go ahead and build this yourself. You are fully capable of doing that by now. And then when you get done, then double click that button and meet me over here in the code where it says a button one click. So if you need to stop me now. Go ahead and build that little application and meet me here. Okay, so one of the things we want to talk about is conversions and why you'd have to do it and how it works in the computer. So, for example, let's go ahead and say we're going to declare a variable. We're going to declare a variable, and when we declare a variable, it means that from then on, the only thing that we can put in there is that kind of information. So if we say it's a double, we can't put a string in it, for example. Once we declare a variable, it must stay that variable until we erase it or change it or whatever. But as long as it's that variable name, we can't put anything else in there once we've declared it. Okay, so let's look at a declaration. I'm going to say int I. Okay. And if int I, let's say that now we try to set I, and we say I equals, and we try to put something in there that shouldn't go in there, like hello mom. Okay, we try to put hello mom in there. When we do this, we're going to get yeah, notice right there, a red squiggly line right there. Let's do this. Let me just blow this up a little bit more. There you go. And so it says hello mom. It says hey, you can't do that. Hello mom. Let's see what it says. So if I put my cursor over the top of that, then it says class system.string represents text as a sequence of UTF-16 code units. Cannot implicitly convert type string to int. So that means it tried to switch it over, but it says it can't do it. I can't do it. The words hello mom, the characters, do not convert into a integer that we can use. So if even if we tried to use some type of conversion, even if I tried to do it, I can't convert it over either, of course, because it is just a string at this point in time. But let's say, for example, let's say it was a number. Let's say it's 125. Okay, and so I've said, hey, here's a 125 in here, and if we look at that again, it says, hey, I can't convert that over, but I could say I could convert that if I had that in something else, and then I could convert it over into here. Just like we did in our calculator, we took strings from our text box and we converted those over into numbers. And so in that case, I could do something with the number 125. So now that we've kind of seen that won't work, I'm just going to go over here and comment that out. Okay, so \star star and star \. Okay. Notice how that turned green, basically saying, hey, that code is commented out. Okay, so let's go on here, and let's say, for example, we were going to create a long. There we go. There it is. Long J equals a whole lot of numbers. Okay. And then let's say I was going to make an int I, and then I'm going to put I is going to equal J. And notice I get a red squiggly line there when I ask it to do that. And if I look under that, it says I cannot implicitly convert type long to an int. Basically, and then it says, an explicit conversion exists. So it tells me how I could do this if I wanted to. And so I could come over here and I could say int, and now I have done what's called a conversion, a cast. I've said, hey, change J into an int so it can fit inside of I. And, you know, because I was too small. I is a certain size, and it's a 32-bit, and a long is a 64-bit integer. So it says, hey, it's the wrong size. It's the wrong shoe. It might be like somebody in the classroom with the biggest shoe trying to try on the person with the smallest shoe kind of situation. You might be able to get it on, but it would be very uncomfortable. So in doing this, we've told it to do that. Now, we know that I was a very big number. If we send I, let's see, what do we call our label? Answer. Label. And there it is, answer. Dot. And text. Oh, no. It has to be called content. And we say equals, and we say I. If we just run over here to that and we run our application, and I click go, look at that. It gave me the wrong number. And the reason why it gave me the wrong number is because I took a really, really big number and changed it into something else when I did that cast. So this is incorrect now for what we wanted it to be. Okay. I kind of expected that. Let's go back to our code. So we know how to cast, but we realize now that switching from one to another we can lose data. We can lose the numbers that we are converting to. Let's just go ahead and come down here and let's close this out. Let's say that we're not going to comment. Okay. Okay, so let's just say, let's look at some other types here. Let's say we came down here and we said double, let's call it J. Double J equals, and then let's make it a double 2.55. And then semicolon, and let's say int I equals J. Oh, so int I says I can't do that. I cannot become J. And so if we go look at this, it says cannot implicitly convert type double to int, but an explicit conversion exists. Well, just like up above, we saw that there was an explicit conversion, right? We know how to do that. And we come over here and we say, hey, turn that into an int. Great. Now they're equal, right? And so I can come down here and I can say, I can go to my label, label answer, there it is, and I can say dot, dot, and there's content, and that's going to equal I. And so we should get 2.5 back, correct? So if we go ahead and hit the save and run this, there's our there's my application. And if I hit go, oh, I only got a 2. Why do you think I only got a 2? Well, gosh, when I took a number, a double, which has a decimal place, and I told it, hey, I want you to be an integer, which has no decimal place, it just said, okay, no problem, and it just took the end of that and knocked it off. So the 0.55 is gone. Now that might be really cool to get your program up and running, but if you were like doing change, I think most people, if their choice was between $2 and $2.55, will take the $2.55. So this would be a problem. This would not be what we would want it to do. So it's very important when you're converting from one thing to another that you think about what the consequences of that is. In the top, we took a really, really huge number. We squished it down into a number that was much smaller, almost half its size, and that wasn't pretty either. So we can see it's very important to look at how conversions work. It's always easier to convert up to a bigger size than it is to convert down to a smaller size. So most of the time we're going to want to stop ourselves from doing that. Okay? So just a little something to think about there. As we're working with numbers, we want to be careful that we are continually converting them in the right direction. Okay, so let's go back over here to our page real quick, and I'm going to come over here and grab my little toolbox, and I want to grab a text box, and I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to change the size of the font in that text box to 48, so that it'll make it nice and big. Like the rest of my project, because my project I changed that size. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take out the inside of that again. And all right, now we've got that made up right there. Okay, and I'm going to rename that text box. Let's call that text box input. How about that? Input. There we go. Come back over to here, and so let's take this and let's take this right here, and I'm going to comment that out. Okay. And the way I did that is I highlighted it and I used this button right at the top there, which is the comment out button. Okay. So go ahead and do that. And we commented that out. So let's do something else. Let's say we're going to get a number from that box. Now, we remember that box, the information that comes out of there comes out as a string. So let's start off with string. And let's call it string user input. I want that. Let's follow camel case. Let's keep user input. There we go. And equals. And then we're going to say, we're going to go to our text box. There it is, text box input, dot, and text, right? And semicolon. Okay. So now we've put the string, whatever it is that they put in over there. Well, if they put in an int or whatever, we have to change that string into that number. So let's do that. Let's say that we're going to put that. Let's put it into a double, whatever it is. Double num. Num1 for number 1 and equals, and my string, which is user input, and we can see right away it gives us that red squiggly line. This is where it says, hey, you can't switch a string into a double. We're going to put come to the front of this, and we're going to put double dot, and notice down here is something called parse, and we're going to say parse. Now, parse is a cool little piece of code that's added to most objects, most types, that allows us to take a string and look at it and say, hey, could it be a double? If it could be a double, it will change it into a double and drop it in there. If not, it'll send us an error message back saying, hey, this can't be a double. And so, so I've done that there. And then let's say we just want to add a number to whatever this is. So let's say double answer equals there it is, tab, plus 64. And let's send this back out to the label so we can see what it does. So label answer. There's content, and there's equals, and there's answer, right? Okay, so let's just go ahead and run this. Oh, let's save it. Maybe even hit build. There we go. It says it's ready. We run it. I come down in here, and let's say I put in 23.55, right? 23, nope. 23.55. And I hit go. Oh, and there's my answer. So so our parse worked. Remember that parse is going to be a good tool that you're going to use definitely in the future as we go forward. Good things to remember. Hey, let's stop right there, and we will come back and do a little more in the next video. Look forward to seeing you there. Make sure to subscribe. More to come.